What's up, people? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. Y'all know every Wednesday we do Wealthy Wednesdays. This is our Wealthy Wednesday segment of our Financial Rebel Show, of my Financial Rebel Show. So, whatever questions you have, go ahead and throw them in the comments. Go ahead and throw them in the chat. We're going to have a funky good time tonight as we go through and answer everybody's money questions. If you have questions about stocks, taxes, business, it's all fair game. I have had some type of experience in and around all these categories just about my entire professional career. So again, be sure to just go ahead and put your questions there and we'll definitely get to them. As people are starting to log in. What's up, Jose? How you doing? How you doing, Jose? How's it going today? The White says video issues on FB Live. Retro. That's never a good thing. But I'm here. The White, you might need to because you've been burning it up lately, man. Some great posts. So you might need to stop the post or stop the feed, or actually just log out of Facebook altogether and then come on back in. You know, you got to kind of trick the system a little bit. Don Johnson, what's up, brother? How are you, sir? What's good this week? What's good this Wednesday? All right, so Mid-Atlantic has a question about ETFs. All right, I'll come back to that in 1 second. But make sure you come back to White. Don't get sidetracked, because you know how the algorithms do. You leave something for a minute, you take a break, then you come back, and then boom, you get snagged into a rabbit hole by some other topic. What up, Tiffany? How you doing? Happy Wednesday. Listen, y'all, be sure to share this with someone else who might need to know more about money, who might have questions about money. I call these Wednesdays like my community Wednesdays, where I'm here to give back. So, tell them to come on in, ask the question, and we'll get to it. 55, I don't even know how to say that. Is it Shiz _ 55? How you doing? Welcome. All right, Mid-Atlantic, give me 1 second, and I will come to that question. That's actually a great question too, Mid-Atlantic. It's a great question. Y'all been asking a lot of ETF questions lately. A lot of ETF questions. So let me see something here. Let's see. Now that's weird. I'm trying to find something for y'all. So just give me 1 second. There we go. All right, so who else is in the building? All right, the White's coming back. Adrian's here. What up, Adrian? How you doing this weekend? Happy King Day to everybody, by the way. Did y'all celebrate King Day? I said Happy King Day to somebody on Monday. They said, wow, I've never had anybody say that to me. And they were like kind of shocked. I'm like, man, we supposed to celebrate Martin Luther the King. He did a lot. Made a lot of sacrifices for all of us. Black, white, yellow, green, and brown. So I'm not sure why they found it kind of interesting, but it is what it is. All right, so Winfred asked what cannabis-related companies to invest in. All right, I did a video on that, though. You been on my YouTube channel, Winfred? I just did a video on that a couple of weeks ago. Let me see. See if we can find it, too. James, how are you? Do you say it Chavia? Kevin Gee, how are you? If I messed up your name, I apologize. Mysterious Bag 2020, how you doing? Welcome. All right, so we got a couple questions already set to go. I want to pull up a couple things, though, real quick. Give me 1 second, because somebody's asking about cannabis and cannabis stocks, and I just did a video on that. So I'm just going to direct you all to that video so you can check it out and watch it. So nobody gets left behind and nobody gets left out. Give me 1 second. Un momento. Where is it at? All right, there we go. And I will, this video, my cannabis video is actually doing pretty good on YouTube. Listen, if you have not followed me on YouTube or subscribed to my channel on YouTube, shame on you. Shame. But there's some good stuff on there. Winford, there is the link for that cannabis. It says how to invest in cannabis stocks in 2021. Again, how to invest in cannabis stocks in 2021. So I kind of give you my whole rationale, my whole thought process. And, I'll talk about it, but I figured I'd give you that so you can watch it whenever you like. And anybody else that wants it. And by the way, share that with somebody too. And then when you share it, tell them to like the video. The likes on the video on YouTube help me fight the algorithm. All right, so let's get to Mid-Atlantic's question. So question about ETFs. Do you feel 5 to 6 is too many for a portfolio if they don't overlap? So no, I don't think there are too many if you overlap, but what overlap is a real thing. And so there's always these discussions about diversification, especially diversification using mutual funds or ETFs, but nobody ever talks about overlap. So shout outs to you, Mid-Atlantic, for thinking about that, because most people have ETFs, have mutual funds that overlap. What does overlap mean, Kamari? What in the world are you talking about, overlap? Talking about like two pieces of meat on a sandwich overlapping each other? No. I'm talking about duplication in terms of your investments. So, for example, let's say you have two ETFs, because you asked about ETFs. Let's say you have SPY, which is the ETF that follows the S&P 500, right? So, yeah, I want y'all to keep track on this, right? Because I'm going somewhere with this. So, SPY, again, tracks the S&P 500. And you own VOO. So y'all can look these up, right? So make sure y'all take notes. So SPY and VOO. So VOO is Vanguard's ETF that tracks the S&P 500. Just make sure that's the right ticker, right? So the Vanguard 500 index is VOO, and SPY is what is the name of their company? Matter of fact, SPY, here's a little fun fact. SPY is the oldest ETF. And by the way, ETF stands for exchange traded funds. Again, exchange traded funds. So they are a type of index fund. Costs are pretty low. It's a form of passive investing, or can be a form of passive investing if you just buy it and hold it. And it does good as a following the overall market. Again, this is not investment advice. I am not making recommendations to buy or to sell. I'm just talking about the vehicle overall. And so overlap is a very, very, very important thing. I was trying to, so there we go. So y'all know what I always tell y'all to do. When you want to look up something, go to finance.yahoo.com. Finance.yahoo.com. Now, Don, you cross-promoting my competitors' wares, right? Don's cross-promoting my competitors' wares on my chat or my live. Now, Don, I need you to make this right in the universe to make sure you cross-promote something on her lives. Now, I'm laughing, right, because I would be cross-promoting this anyway. Like, so Don just shared the Ivy Investors Teachable Investing in Legal Cannabis 101 class. So Courtney, y'all all know Courtney is my homegirl. She is a cannabis expert. She's a lawyer. She's a tax attorney, and she is a former stockbroker. So Courtney knows what she's talking about. So there is a class if you really want to get deeper on cannabis. But you could also go watch my video on YouTube too. But I endorse that. And guess what? I am not an affiliate. I don't get paid for that at all. Matter of fact, I probably need to get Courtney to pay me for that because I promote her stuff a lot. Courtney's like an undercover pimp, y'all. She be pimping me. Y'all tell her I said that too. All right, but I wanted to show y'all something real quick, right? So I want to show you something on the screen. Apologies to all my people that are listening to this on the podcast and on IG. So I apologize to y'all on IG. But I just want to show you something real quick. And that is the wrong screen. So where's my producer at? What producer can I holler at for putting stuff on the wrong screen? Oops. Producer is me. So I got to holler at myself. Adrian, I see your comment coming to you. Give me 1 second. And anybody else that has comments, just bear me 1 second because I messed up the presentation. Where is this at? I'm not sure why this isn't showing up. That's not it. So let's see if I can kind of shortcut this here. Oh, that is it. Oops. Sorry, y'all. All right, so here I have SPY, again, the very first ETF ever to hit the market back in like the 90s. All right, and I also have VOO, which is Vanguard's version of Spider's SPY. They both basically cover the same things. And I'm glad Mid-Atlantic asked me this question because I wouldn't have thought about it. So I get to go a little bit deeper on this because, again, people don't really think about overlap. But overlap becomes a problem when we're looking at correlation. Now, if y'all been rocking with me for a while, I've been talking about correlation more and more lately. It's a bit more of an intricate or let's say intermediate idea. But I want to show you something, and I don't know why this is like this. So this is... So basically, right, when we look at SPY and we look at VOO, they both move in tangent. They both move at the same time. When one zigs, the other zags. When one is down, one is up. And I'm not seeing it's supposed to do a comparison. I'm not sure why it's not doing a comparison, or is it just that tight? There we go. Let's see. Let me try one more time. And so you can do this on Yahoo Finance or finance.yahoo.com. All right. So the problem is here, you're not seeing the two separate lines because these two ETFs move so closely, right? They are highly correlated together. They're definitely overlapped. I have seen people own SPY and VOO in the same portfolio, right? So somebody would say, well, that's good diversification because you got two different products. But the underlying of each one of these products is the same. So there is no diversification, right? And for a long time, financial advisors will be out there peddling their wares, basically selling mutual funds to people who want to invest, but they never give any thought to correlation. They never give any thought to overlap. So again, Mid-Atlantic's question is great because you want to think about how much overlap is in there, right? And there's other tools where you can look at, right? We'll also look at, let me do this right now. So we'll also look at like SPY's top holdings. Who wants to bet SPY's top holdings are probably the same as VOO? Anybody want to take that bet? D-Hop 120, how you doing? K Landers, welcome. Benny Blanco, NT, not from the Bronx. Benny Blanco is here. How you doing, sir? Oh, it's there. So let's talk about this, right? So SPY and VOO, what are their top holdings? So let's see. I don't think this is showing on the screen. So give me 1 second, y'all. So y'all saw how the movement, you have my bad, y'all. I just made a very, very rookie mistake. All right, what am I forgetting, Jimmy? You said don't forget about a hood. What am I forgetting? You talking about you talking about links? Everybody wants to hop in on a link gang. You know I'm for it. I support y'all stuff anyway. Lewis, Ali, how y'all doing? Welcome. Listen, everybody, welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. All right, welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. I am the Finance Rebel, Kamari Ellis. You're watching the Finance Rebel Show. The reason for the show is this is my attempt to help bring everybody's financial IQ up to another level so they can make their financial life a little bit more easy and a little bit less painful, right? So we can get to this money a lot easier and a lot faster. I just made a big mistake and I disconnected myself from my own broadcast while I was trying to show y'all the top 10 holdings of SPY and the top 10 holdings of VOO. So we were talking about overlap. We got a question from Mid-Atlantic and he asked, what do you think about having 5 to 6 ETFs in a portfolio as long as there's no overlap? So again, I don't have a problem with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But the question is, there are a lot of people who have overlap in their portfolios and they don't know it, right? And many financial advisors / financial planners do it under the guise of diversification, right? Under the guise of diversification. Diversification just means that you're spreading out your eggs in many baskets. So if one basket falls, you don't lose all your eggs. All right. And so, like I said, I messed up trying to share the screen with y'all to show y'all the top 10 holdings. All right. So let me do this. Let me get right back on my level so I can show y'all what I came here to show y'all. Where is this at? The other problem I have, y'all, if I'm being honest, I got too many daggone tabs open. And so let's see. So, all right, there we go. All right, so hopefully y'all can see all of this. And the top 10 for SPY, is Apple. It makes up 6.68% of the funds in the SPY, right? It's in the top 10 holdings. And so just think about 100% of the assets. And I want y'all to pay attention to these percentage of assets because I promise you they will be very, very similar to the percentage of assets in VOO. So next one is Microsoft, 5.29%. Next one is Amazon, coming in at 4.37% of the fund. Facebook A shares, right, 2.07%. Tesla is 1.68%. So listen, if any of y'all were worrying about getting on the Tesla craze, if you own SPY, you already got it on it. All right. Alphabet, which is betterly known as Google, is 1.65, and that is the A shares. Then we have Alphabet Class C, another share of Alphabet, which again is 1.6% of the overall fund. We have Berkshire Hathaway with their Class B shares coming in at 1.42. By the way, if y'all ever have a chance, look up how much Berkshire Hathaway is. Can somebody tell me that in the chat? Johnson & Johnson, J&J is the ticker symbol, and that makes up 1.3% of the assets. And lastly, JP Morgan, 1.22% of the assets. Scorpio gang. Scorpio. How you doing, cousin? Dapper, how you doing? Dark Horse, how you doing? Welcome. And Nick, how you doing? Welcome, y'all. All right, so we're looking at SPY, and now I am going to look at VOO. So y'all, I need y'all to make a mental note of some of those positions. Take a mental note. All right. Like I always say, if you're ever looking up anything in the investment world, start with finance.yahoo.com. You actually should download the app on your phone because I know most of y'all have apps. Download the finance.yahoo.com app. Download the CNBC app. They're both good apps. Take a look at some of the headline articles on there. Take a look at the news. All right, so now we're looking at VOO. This is Vanguard's holding. Remember, these are not investment recommendations. This is not investment advice. I'm not telling y'all to buy or sell Nathan. If y'all buy or sell and y'all lose money, that's on y'all. Don't come back to me talking about I told y'all to buy it. It's y'all fault. You got to take responsibility. All right, so top 10, VOO. Top 10, number 1, Apple, 6.37%. Number 2, Microsoft, 5.4%. It's almost the same. Amazon is 4.4%, roughly 4.5%. Facebook, 2.2%. Now, Alphabet, they combined on SPY for about 3%. Here, it's about 3.4%. So it's not exactly the same, but it's damn close. All right, Berkshire Hathaway is 1.49. Johnson & Johnson is 1.27. JP Morgan Chase is 1.2% of the assets in the fund. And Visa is 1.17. So, right, out of all the stuff that these funds invest in, those are the percentages of which they hold, right? So they're heavily weighted in tech. We see that, right? Both of them. So if both funds, right, VOO and Mid-Atlantic, this is Mid-Atlantic's question, but VOO and SPY, if they both carry the same funds, right, there's a large overlap. So then the whole point of diversification is try to spread out your risk so you don't lose your money. It's kind of protect your money. Again, like I said, it's to spread out your eggs in multiple baskets. So if one egg falls or if one basket falls, you don't lose all your eggs. But if all those eggs are doubled up into the baskets and they all fall off the same type cliff and they're all doing the same type things, you won't have any difference in behavior. You won't have any difference in investment return, right? You won't have any difference in investment risk because that's what we're really talking about, investment risk. So you got to be mindful of that. Now, this is a real telltale sign that you want to stay away from. But there are other funds, other ETFs that people overlap, and they will have a lot of the same stuff. So if I put up an ETF like an XLF, which follows the financial sector, I bet you JP Morgan is probably going to be in the top holdings. I bet you Berkshire Hathaway is probably going to be in the top holdings. And I would bet if we dug even deeper and go past the top 10 holdings of these funds into, let's say, the top 100, you would see a lot of overlap. Again, so all the investments will move at the same time. And you really don't get any benefit of diversification. Dave Anderson, the business bully, has blessed us and stopped by. What's up, Dave? I am Dominique Thompson. How you doing? Welcome, y'all. So I see I got a couple other questions I got to get to. Feel free. Any questions y'all might have, any questions, one come, one all, put them all in the chat and we will definitely get to them. So what else y'all got? I see I got a question over on IG. Let's pull that up. Kevin Gee is asking a question. Oh man, this might be a rough one. So Kevin asks, if I don't have any children or properties, how can I lower my taxes? It depends on your situation. If you're working a 9 to 5, put more money in your 401k plan. By the way, please ignore all these anti-401k dummies. They are dummies. They have no idea what they're talking about. 401ks, from my experience over the last 2 decades, is one of the greatest ways of building wealth in your overall portfolio. So you can stack assets, stack cash, and you get a tax break. That's one way to do it, Kevin. To lower your assets also, I would say potentially you start a business or buy real estate. So your best tax breaks are going to come for business owners and real estate investors, or investors, especially real estate investors. They have the best they have the best tax benefits. Now, I'll say this, anybody can start a business, right? Now, y'all just saw the video I did the other day where I said, everybody don't just run, jump, and quit your job, right? Just because we got a new president in the house, a lot of y'all are giddy and happy. Don't get too happy because you still got to keep that electricity on. And studies say that the average American cannot deal with a $400 emergency. So if you don't have no money in savings and you don't have a business plan or a business idea, or you haven't sold anything to anybody, I think you should delay quitting your job. Just start a side hustle. I'm just saying. Did that answer your question, Kevin? Is that all you got? Is that all we got? All right, cool. All right, so let's get to, I saw some other, I think Adrian asked. So Adrian asked, what's a SPAC? SPAC. What is a SPAC? SPAC is a special purpose acquisition group. No, as a special purpose acquisition company or corporation. Basically, they go around buying a bunch of companies, and then they kind of house them underneath themselves. And a lot of times they will go public and do an IPO to raise money. They're cool. But at the end of the day, sometimes they buy a whole bunch of garbage businesses. So garbage plus more garbage equals garbage. So y'all keep that in mind. All right, so shout out to By the Hood as well. My brothers over there, Jimmy and Corey. I think, speaking of which, I think I got something in the mail from them today. I'm doing this live, so let's see. I'm opening. I got my scissors, y'all. I got my envelope. Let's see what I have here. Let's see what I got here. I got a book, a black book, a book from By the Hood, Own Your Own Time and Space. Right. So I did a video the other day. It got terrible performance. Nobody watched it. I guess it was because I started off with the Martin Luther King speech, I guess. But I said a lot of times they want us to go and do service for MLK Day. And I, in my opinion, don't necessarily think that's the best way to honor the greatness of the great Dr. King. There's nothing wrong with service. I believe in service. But on that day, I believe we should be honoring the man. And the man didn't just say do service. He also said support business. What businesses? Black businesses. Those were the businesses he said to support. So in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Day on Monday, that's his holiday, by the way. His birthday is January 15th. Y'all make sure y'all write that down somewhere, make a mental note, put that on your notes section of your phone. His birthday is January 15th. I said, I'm going to buy black, but y'all know I buy black all the time anyway. I say buy black every day. That should be the motto. That should be the theme. That's how we should be rocking out. So I brought this book, which is Own Your Time and Space by the Hood team, right? I also brought, can y'all see that? Can everybody see that? On Your Own Time and Space. Don Johnson says it's a masterpiece, right? So Don has given it the official stamp. And I also brought Mud to Millions. Shout out to Aisha Sheldon. All right, so if anybody's on here, tag Aisha Sheldon. I know Jimmy and Corey are on here. So, right, that's how I chose to rock. Oh, and I got more. I don't have everything, right? This is called a thinking cap, y'all. This is from the Fab Nerd. The Fab Nerd. I got a thinking cap. More black-owned businesses. Keep the money in the community. Keep the money in the community. Of course, Jimmy. Of course, my man. You know I rock with you. All right, Mid-Atlantic, you need that book. Hold on. I need to get me an Amazon affiliate link because I'm giving y'all people's too much of my monies. So, yes, in one breath, I can say support black businesses, and then I can say an affiliate program because, hey, it will then support me. Who am I? Another black business. So we can all eat together. When you shine, we shine together. Or actually, the lyric goes, when I shine, we shine together. Or is it I shine, you shine, we shine together. I think that's it. I got it together, y'all. I got it together. All right, so wait a minute. What were you saying you agree with, Lisa Marie? By the way, welcome, Lisa Marie. Oh, and I got more. Jose looked it up. $234.76. Now that's the BRKB, or this is the Berkshire Hathaway B. But Don Johnson got it first. BRAK, $352,000. Right? Berkshire Hathaway is $352,000. Excuse me, let me read it right, y'all. $352,801 per share. No splits. Berkshire Hathaway has never done a split. Buffett doesn't believe in it. So if any of y'all don't know who Berkshire Hathaway is, it's the company that Warren Buffett took over. He didn't found it. He took it over and kind of made it his own personal investment vehicle. Beats and Strokes. I like that name. Sounds like a fun name. Jay Little Wolf. What's up, Alexandra? How you doing? Welcome. You ain't been on air in a long time. We've been missing you. All right, so $352,801, y'all. $352,801. It's a lot of cheese for one stock. But guess what? Y'all all can buy that too. You can buy $1 worth for Berkshire Hathaway, A or B. Now, the B shares and the A shares have different rights. You will see that amongst a lot of stocks. Google has it. Facebook has it. Several others have it. What normally happens is they kind of have a founder class or owner class, so to speak. So they'll have a certain amount of rights that nobody else will have. And they will have more voting rights typically than other people have, right? And you'll see that all the time because a lot of times the founders want to make sure that now that they're making their private company now public, that the masses won't be able to take control of what they built. Because at some point, a lot of times, the public markets actually become bigger owners of the company than the owners do. So remember, when you're buying stocks, you're really buying a company, right? And I'm not talking to my traders. Traders don't care. I'm talking to my investors. My investors, remember, you're buying a piece of a business. Buying stock is ownership. Buying stock is ownership. So you want to own something, folks. Stocks are a great way to go. But again, that's why they have the two different, sometimes even more than two, different types of voting classes. Don Johnson comes through and says, and with that said, stay away from these YouTubers. Tell people what stock to buy. That's bad business. Yeah, Don, I try to stay away from that. I'll tell you what I'm buying. It's not an investment recommendation at all. I need y'all to do your own research. I need y'all to know how to research. Y'all should be asking me way more research questions, but a lot of times y'all want to ask me what hot stock I got. Well, it don't matter what hot stock I got because the stock I'm buying is mine. I'm a pick on by the hood right now, right? They told me my fourth position was trash, y'all. Straight up trash. 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 I spelled it wrong the first time. I had to correct myself. Said my position was trash, but my position is winning because I brought it for me. That's all that matters. So when y'all develop y'all investing discipline, because that's what I really want y'all to do, and develop y'all investing process, y'all got to stick to y'all process. And yeah, can you grow and expand that process over time? Yes, absolutely. But don't take other people's stock picks. It gets a lot of folks in trouble. But yeah, Mid-Atlantic, that book, I would get both of these books. I would get Mud to Millions, which is by Aisha Sheldon. She's a stock investor and a real estate investor. And I would also get Own Your Time and Space by the Buy the Hood team. You can find both of them on Amazon. And I actually think you can buy, and I should have asked you this, Jimmy, they probably get more profit if I go to their actual website and buy it directly. They probably get the money faster if I go to the website directly. But I got caught up. I saw Jimmy put a post up saying that Own Your Time and Space and Mud to Millions are both recommended on Amazon at the same time. So I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and buy it because I've been meaning to buy it anyway. But Don is right. Getting back to Don's statement, please don't follow most of these YouTubers. Most of them are trash, y'all. Trash. That funky smelling trash too. Not that odorless trash. These folks is funky. Smell worse than Pepe Le Pew. All right, Angela. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday to you. Thanks for stopping by. Sherwood, how you doing? What do you think about Biden's initiatives? Hey, sound good. Let's see what happens. Let's see if that 1,500 or 1,400 STEMI, because that's what the folks say, the STEMI gets through the House of Rep and through Senate. Sounds good. Let's see if some of the student loan elimination goes through. That would help me out, but I ain't complaining. I enjoyed my college experience. So it was worth every bit dollar of cent that I owe in it. I wouldn't be here now had I not gone to college. So I'm cool with it. Some of the healthcare stuff, renewable energy. Listen, it's so funny, right? If y'all go back and do the history, Jimmy Carter actually had solar panels on the White House. Reagan threw them down. What would have happened? They had a lot of tax breaks associated with them back in the early 80s. What would have happened if they kept those solar panels on the White House and kept the tax breaks in the code? We probably would be a lot further along with EV expansion and development and research. We might have flying cars like the Jetsons by now, but the oil lobby is strong. The automobile lobby is strong. So I don't know. I'm waiting to see. But yeah, I mean, that's what makes sense. But most times elected officials don't do what makes sense. They only do what the people put pressure on them to do, or the people with money put pressure on them to do, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, Republican or Democrat. How you doing, Talton? How you doing? Welcome. My pleasure, Adrian. I am here to serve people. Isaiah Wilson, how are you? Any more questions, go ahead and throw that in the chat. Throw it in the question mark over there on IG. Do me a favor, y'all, hit the like button. The like button weighs heavy on these algorithms. Y'all know I'm fighting the machine, fighting these algos, trying to get our content showed a little bit more heavy so I can help more people. I always say you should do service all year round. Yep, not just MLK. Yeah, absolutely, Lisa Marie. I don't get it. I don't get it. But when you listen to the non-sanitized version of MLK, he wasn't this super duper soft dude that everybody tries to paint him out to be, right? You don't get stabbed, bit by dogs, 100-pound water hose pressure put on you, and you be some weak soft dude. Even though they try to portray him like that because he believed in turning the other cheek. Turning the other cheek actually takes a lot of strength. It's not being a punk, but you got to go a little bit deeper than that. But by the way, I do understand his strength, but I'm with Malcolm on that. We should be defending ourselves at all times. However, I would love us to see us turn our cheeks with our brothers and sisters, with the people in our community that we are so quick to have beef with for no rhyme, no reason, and then we hate each other for like years and years. It's like it'd be like the black version of the Hatfields and McCoys. So, all right. So Jose says, in a self-directed account stemming from employer-deferred comp package, how can I use more of my deferred funds to invest in companies I choose instead of the prepackaged ones? Well, you said it's a self-directed account. So when you use that kind of language, it gets me a little confused, because there are things like self-directed IRAs, self-directed 401k, self-directed Roth IRAs, and they are not necessarily a part of your employer or employee benefits package, especially for your 401k. Now, if you're just talking about you direct what's going on in your account, in your 401k account, 457 account, 403b account, then yeah, that's fine. We can do that. But I just wanted to make sure I made that distinction. You really don't have many options when it comes to dealing with, let's say, your 401k in terms of investment results. If you want more investments, I would talk to your HR and put pressure on them. Listen, pressure goes a long way, y'all. It can change things. So if you get enough of your employees there at the job and they say, hey, we want some more investment options, they may do it, but they're not going to get crazy. You're probably never going to see gold in a 401k plan or gold fund in a 401k plan. Why? because 401k providers have fiduciary responsibilities, which means that they are stewards, or they have to be perceived as stewards and try to look after their employees in these plans with a modicum of caution, because they know most people, not talking about you, Jose, but most people, a lot of times don't have any common sense, don't have the education or experience to really pick out any good investments or investment mix. So what I would say in that, I know, Jose, you've been doing your studies, you're getting your weight up. I would say take advantage of your 401k. The tax benefits are undeniable. If there's an employee match, take advantage of that, because that's free money, right? That's a wealth accelerator, right? We have to start thinking in terms of acceleration and multipliers. Our job as people here on this show is to be wealth multipliers. So we're not doing addition and subtraction, y'all. We are doing addition, multiplication, and exponents, right? That's the type of time in math we got to be on, y'all. Not just adding 1 + 1 = 2. Now, y'all also hear me talk a lot about savings. So I don't want to confuse anybody, because I do believe in the power of savings, because the savings actually makes it possible for you to survive any financial storm that might come, and also be able to get opportunities through those storms. What's my man, Rothschild, Baron Rothschild, not Warren Buffett, but Baron Rothschild said, when there's blood on the street, you buy. So in order to buy when there's blood on the street, you got to have cash. All right. So just keep that in mind. But again, you can use your 401k, 403b, 457 plan as a way to, take advantage of all those things, and to just maybe buy safe things, or just buy maybe the S&P 500. I'm sure there's an S&P 500 selection in your 401k plans. I would bet my bottom dollar. So I would take advantage of that as much as possible. Jose, let me know if you have any other questions on that. Okay, Jimmy, you out here slinging links. All right, I ain't mad at that. Pause, by the way. Okay, hey, Angela. TKU, is that thank you? Sometimes I get caught up in the abbreviations. I am Cherry LH. How are you? Raji, I think. How you doing? Welcome. What is a good way for a person to get their bookkeeping together? Just by doing it. I'm not trying to be funny. I would say use some type of software for my clients, because I'm no longer really doing bookkeeping or accepting any new bookkeeping clients. But for my clients, I use QuickBooks Online. If you're Stephanie, help me with this question. Is this for a new business? What type of business is it? If you don't mind sharing, I can give you a better answer. But I use QuickBooks Online. I would start going through and categorizing and classifying your expenses, the money that comes into your business, the money that goes out of your business, which is expenses, tracking the money that comes into your business, which is sales or income or revenue, depending upon how you track it. I would be, just going through and doing that. Also, I was talking to somebody this afternoon, a new client. Be sure to classify the money that comes into your business properly. So if you're a new start business and you're just putting money in, you're just putting the initial capital in, make sure you classify that as investment capital or partnership capital or something like that. Don't list it as revenue. Don't list it as sales, or make sure it doesn't get listed as sales, because it may make you pay more taxes than you need to. All right. So Yolanda 39, how you doing? Stay low. I always want to say stay low, keep popping, but low, keep popping. How you doing? Ozzy Renee, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Any questions anybody might have, go ahead and fill them in the chat. Remember, I'm Kamari Ellis. I'm the Finance Rebel. You're watching the Finance Rebel Show. This is our Wednesday edition, our Wealthy Wednesday edition, where I answer all your money questions. If you know of anyone that might need this, share this with them. But do me a favor, like this. If you're on YouTube, like this. If you are on Facebook, like the video. If you're on IG, give me some hearts and share this with some people. Share with like 3 people. All right. Shot by CEO XL. Thanks for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So listen, that's how I can fight the algorithms. If not, I just stay here and I basically talk to myself. But again, Stephanie, give me more of that, because maybe I can give you a more in-depth answer on that. Eric Young, how you doing? I guess Alexander Harris is somebody you're tagging in. Appreciate you. Lisa Marie, so the dollar shares, what's the minimum I can buy of the Berkshire? You can buy $1. If you go to Cash App, you can buy $1, and it'll be a fraction of that Berkshire share. Now remember that Berkshire share, what was it, $352,801? I'm not looking at it off the top, but $352,801 off the top. You can buy $1 worth. And guess what? Your $1 worth will move the same way the regular amount you would move in if you bought $350,000 worth. Listen, we don't really care about dollar amounts. You should be more concerned about percentages in terms of return, y'all, right? In terms of return. So if you put $1 in and you make 10 cents, you made 10%. If you put $100 in and you make $10, you made 10%. If you put $1,000 in and you made $100, you made 10%. We want to try to get this higher level of ROI. Who can tell me what ROI is? Somebody throw that in the chat. But we want to try to get the highest level of ROI possible, right? Because in that way, the power of compounding comes in. Because then let's say we start with $1, it's $1.10. Now you can take that $1.10, reinvest it, and buy some more. But you got more than what you started with. You got more than what you started with. You can start at any level you want, and get started. Like MC Hammer, get it started. Have any of y'all seen my MC Hammer video on YouTube? It's getting a lot of response on Instagram. If any of y'all rock with me on Instagram. Biz Architect, how you doing? Brother Wayne 215, how you doing? So I am definitely a Hammer fan, just for the record. And I definitely rock with Hammer for how he took care of his people. We need more of that. All right, so Don said read both. Again, read Own Your Time and Space, and read Mud to Millions. All right? And listen, they are not like some PhD level book. Mud to Millions is 50 some odd pages. Own Your Time and Space is about 130 pages. You can read both of these in one day or two, right? Don't press it. No stress. You can read them both though. But listen, be a lifelong learner, y'all. Don't just be some of those people that said, oh, I done graduated school. I don't need to learn nothing else. I'm done. Right? Don't be that. The people that get to the bread, the people that get to the bag, are the people that get to them books. I think that rhymed too. Maybe I should have been a rapper in my younger years. Jokes, y'all. Jokes. All right. So listen, anybody else have any more questions? Right. Yep. I got that one. Lisa, with Cash App, Stash, even Acorn, you can invest a minimum of $1. With M1, you need a minimum of $100. Then start a percentage of $100 towards Berkshire. All right. Winford said what? What are you asking what to, Winford? Oh, Winford, you're on YouTube now, so I appreciate you. Make sure you like the video on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you in advance. Appreciate you. All right, what's up, Karan? How you doing? You stuck in the building. Even when he was turning the other cheek, he had the goons in the suits around. Yes, that is true. He was true. And by the way, since we're talking about King, because that's what Karan is referring to, lots of civil rights was very strategic, y'all. Those dog pictures, when they saw the dog getting sick, that was strategic. Shout out to Banyard Rustin, somebody who doesn't get enough props that people don't talk about. But is a prominent figure, was one of the main strategists in civil rights. So look him up. Bookies, how are you? All right, so Mid-Atlantic asks, did you get the books off Amazon or is it there directly? You can get them both off Amazon. So one of the things I always say is, listen, if you're a small business, make the sale. So I don't have the links here. I'm not fishing around for the links. So just go ahead and get it off Amazon. And make sure, if y'all read these, Don, I'm sure you've done this. If y'all read this, if y'all bought these off Amazon, make sure y'all leave a review. Reviews matter, y'all. Reviews matter. What is a good return on your 401k? That's a hard question to answer, Winfrey, because it really depends on your time horizon. It depends on your risk tolerance. It depends on a lot of factors, right? So Jose was just asking me about 401k plans, or I'm assuming he's talking about 401k plans, right? And I said, if they're not really giving you anything and you don't like the investment options, you can just do a regular S&P 500 investment. However, you might not like that either. So you might just want to hold cash. So you're not going to get a whole lot of money in cash. But if your 401k plan is giving you money, a match, they're giving you money. They're giving you free money. So there's a return right there. By the way, nobody has told me what ROI means yet. Come on, y'all let me down. Y'all let me down. Hold me down. Y'all hold me down. Carrie for Hope, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so Winford, again, it all depends. I would say, though, you want to try to have a return in your 401k that at least beats inflation. On average, inflation is running about 2%. About 2%, roughly. Let's see what else we got here. Jose, when you say they limit you to 10%, what do you mean? Deacons of Self-Defense and Justice. What's up, Cameron? How you doing? He said that boy dropped knowledge. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Cameron is another one of my tax brothers. Shout outs to Cameron. Whoa, that's large. That's a lot of words. Angela, you want me to read all those words? All right, so Angela says, I'm reading like this whole treatise. So has anyone received the status of the stimulus payment? Number 2, status not available. We are unable to provide the status of your payment right now because we don't have enough information yet. We're working on this, or you're not eligible for a payment. For more information about why you're receiving this message, see our frequently asked questions. You can check the application again to see whether there has been an update to your information. Get My Payment data is updated once per day. Yo, y'all should give me an award. I read that and I did not stutter. Not once. I should get an award for that, y'all. I'm the MVP. If y'all won't salute me, I got to salute myself. So we're talking about the last stimulus payment that went out. Some people have gotten it. Some people have not. Again, some people have gotten it. Some people have not. It's just like last year. There's always going to be hiccups in the system. Sadly, there's always going to be hiccups in the system. I believe checks were already due to be sent out. I know checks went out for a large group of people, but I'm not sure where we're at now. And keep in mind, tax season just got pushed back. Tax season is now February 12th. And there is a reason for that, is because every time Congress, right, because Congress runs the IRS, every time Congress makes a change to the tax law, the IRS then has to readjust all its code in order to process the upcoming year's taxes. So it takes time sometimes, and it's not perfect. By the way, another IRS fun fact, the IRS still has millions of pieces of unopened mail sitting in trailers at many of their data processing centers. So they've been impacted by COVID just like everybody else, right? And they've been inundated with stuff just like everybody else. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Hopefully you don't need it. Hopefully when it comes, it's the icing on top of the cake, and it'll just be a little bit extra. So Let me see if there's been any updates. I haven't seen any. And by the way, so for folks that did not get their stimulus from last year, it's a credit. So you can apply or you can account for it on this year's tax return. So you might be able to get it. Not to be confused with the $1,400 Joe Biden said he's going to push through as well. So let's keep that in mind. Oh, so I will dig a little bit deeper into that, Angela, and maybe I'll do a separate video on it if I could turn it out in enough time. But all I would say is make sure, like, if you file, so I will say this stimulus was based on your 2019 taxes. The last stimulus was based on your 2018 taxes. If you have not filed your 2019 taxes, you're going to be waiting a long time because they don't know what to give you. All right. And so, again, when you file your taxes this year, you might be able to do it. So Adrian says, I like the fact that many of us are pushing back on the literally whitewashed image of MLK. He wasn't a punk. He may have been nonviolent, but the words he spoke about racism weren't. The words he spoke about racism, blind black, the war, none of it was punk stuff. None of it. So, all right, Kim Brown Morgan. How you doing, Kim? Welcome. You snuck in here and I didn't notice, but thank you for your comment. Kim asks, what are your thoughts on wholesaling real estate versus flipping versus rental units? I think I know, but wanted to ask. You know, why don't you tell me? Tell me what my thoughts are. I want to know what I think. You can tell me what I think. So you can, again, tell me. But in all seriousness, my thoughts on it is you got to do what's best for you. I have clients. I got this one young brother, made like $50K on his first wholesale deal. Hasn't been able to find much else because there's a lot of legislative pressure coming down on wholesalers across the country because of the bad rep wholesalers get. But it's fine. Flips, I don't think there's anything wrong with flips. I'm in Philly, Kim. I'm not sure where you're at or where you're from, but there's still a lot of old housing stocks that could use some sprucing up, right? Some fresh paint, some new windows, some new lights, some new bathrooms, some new kitchens, and would be awesome. Be great places for people to live. But I would say you should have the skill to do it. And again, I don't have a problem with rental units either. I don't want to be busy with rental units though. Me personally. If and when I get back into real estate, I will definitely have to find me a good property manager. They're not the easiest things to come by. So, it all depends on what you want to do. What do you want to do, Kim? You want to flip it? You want to wholesale? You want to be rental? Now, from a more theoretical standpoint, a lot of times people who don't have a whole lot of money should be doing wholesaling, right? And then if you're able to amass some money, if you want to get more money quicker, you can do flips. And then once you tend to have more of a stable base of money, you can do some rental units. But there's question marks inside of all those because it really depends. You can find real estate and creatively finance it. Put zero down. I'm pretty sure all of y'all heard those commercials. Buy real estate with zero down. It's a thing. It can be done. Why are you laughing at me, Don? What I do? All right, so Karan asks, can I write off some of my rideshare stuff, Uber, Lyft, on my taxes? So on your business taxes, yes, you can write off Uber and Lyft if you are in the capacity of doing work for business. Now, if you are commuting from home to work or home to your office, those are called commuting miles, and those do not get written off. So it really depends. But for the answer, just to kind of give you an answer, if it's for business and you're doing Uber and Lyft to, let's say, ride between one client account to the other, then yes, you can write it off. Richard says, Bayard Rustin was a big influence on King going the nonviolent route. I don't know if I knew that. I knew he was big on Mahatma Gandhi, and I'm not a fan of Gandhi. God rest dead, so I ain't gonna talk about him too bad. But I didn't know that. Didn't know that. Okay, thanks. Yep, my pleasure. My pleasure. All right, Lisa Marie got a return on investment, and I think my man Mid Atlantic got return on investment as well. ROI. Jose gave me okay. Jose got a return on investment. Return on investment, good. Nope, no brokerage fees. The whole brokerage industry is kind of at war now in terms of fees. There's no brokerage fees in Cash App. There's no brokerage fees, I want to say, on TD Ameritrade or E-Trade. Like they all are going like this zero route. There's no brokerage fees on Robinhood. All of them on what's the other one? Webull. No fees. No trading. Let me say this. No trading fees. No trading fees. Hey, Miss Edith, how you doing? You snuck in. Hey, Jose, I feel like you assassinate my character. It's not me, y'all. It's the system. Well, sometimes it is me, right? Because I can't read and scroll and talk at the same time. I'm not that talented. I'm talented. I'm not that talented, y'all. Yep. Paying out Rustin was a G. Okay, so Jose says I can only pull out 10% from deferred compensation to put into a self-directed account. Okay, but what about like 401k? How much can you put into that? Because that's not necessarily deferred compensation. That is just straight. That is just straight employee comp. Yes, we see the return on investment ROI, y'all. Liked, shared on Facebook. Thank you, Ms. Edith. I appreciate you. You are being a model citizen. Welcome to the Financial Rebel Nation. Excuse me, y'all. Right? No, they don't charge fees. All right, so Kim says she wants to do rentals. However, wholesaling will help to gain quicker capital. I thought you were going towards the lease, but nope. Listen, I'm agnostic, right? I don't believe in telling somebody else how to get it. As long as it's legal and as long as it's not hurting somebody else, listen, you get it how you get it. Get it how you live it. You know, it all depends. Are you suited for wholesales? Like, do you like cold calling? If you like that, then cool. Do you have cash? Do you have a stable income? Cool. Or then maybe you can get in the rentals. It all depends on what you got. Strategy is fluid. That doesn't mean you just change it when you get a new whim or the wind blows and it turns you a different way, but it's fluid. So listen, if the goal is wealth creation, why not be fluid with that? Part of the reason why I decided to get back into tax, well, not decided to get back because I never actually really left, but like actually started to take it to the next level, is because one, I get to help a lot of people. And two, there's a great opportunity within inside the tax space, and especially inside the space of me helping people fix their IRS debt. By the way, if you know anybody that has IRS debt, more than $5,000, feel free to refer them to me. We can work out a referral fee. But there's a great market there, right? So I was more than qualified to do it. I actually have a competitive advantage in it. Why not exploit that? A lot of times, wealth isn't about what you know or who you know. It's about what you can exploit, or should I say, leverage, right? Because I don't want y'all to start thinking about slavery or anything like that. My pleasure. My pleasure. 5-star tax solutions. All right, so this lady is a real estate person, and she's a tax person. It's my tax sister right here. Yes, I love real estate buy and hold. So she has rentals. She has rentals. So Kim, are you going to start doing some rentals? Do you have any now? Are you doing wholesaling? Have you done flips? Talk to us. Talk to us. My pleasure. Make sure you like the video on Kim and everybody else, especially on Facebook, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, everybody. All right, so Mid Atlantic asked the question, any thoughts on tax lien properties? Yeah, they're pretty cool. If anybody gets a chance, let me see. I think it's episode like 26 or 27. But if anybody gets a chance, go listen to Episode 26 on the Finance Rebel Podcast with me and Vanessa Braxton. But let me get the exact number. I shouldn't know this off the top of my head, but I can talk about this. But Vanessa Braxton does some manufacturing. She has Black Mama Tea, Black Mama Coffee, Black Mama Vodka, Black Mama, what's the stuff you wipe your hands with, you clean your hands with? She has Black Mama hand sanitizer, right? She's been all over the news, done all kind of press. But she talks about this publicly. She talked about it on a podcast that we did on a recording. Is that she brought a tax lien property for like $500. She bought the property for $500, commercial property, and did really good with it. Now, she also admits that she has to put in a lot of work in terms of, the rehab, the construction, and everything else. But $500, so it can be very good. Mid-Atlantic, you got to do your research because every tax lien auction is not the same. You want to understand the interest rates and how long the person has to pay the debt back to you. All of those things are important. So episode 27 and episode 27.2 are the two episodes where I interviewed Vanessa Braxton. Matter of fact, it was happening during one of our wealthy conversations, but that is up there. That's a good conversation. And she talked about again, tax lien properties. I will probably do an episode on tax lien properties. I'll go find somebody who's an expert in that space and we can have a dialogue about it, because I'm actually interested in getting into tax liens myself. All right, so Kim says, this is my year to get one. All right, let us know. And when you need to do your taxes on it, make sure you come see me. By the way, make sure you keep all of your records, because a lot of real estate people don't keep all their records, and then they miss out on tax benefits. One being depreciation. If I see another tax return from a real estate investor missing depreciation, I'm going to pull my hair out. Oh, wait, I've already done that. But I'll find, I'll pull out my eyebrows or my beard hairs or something like that. So that would be awesome, though. Empress Tanika, how are you doing? I hope I said your name right, but welcome. But yeah, man, Atlantic, they can be really good. They can be really good if you use them right. All right, Kim says she is not afraid to roll up her sleeves. It will be my youngest, and I'm working the first property. Okay, I love it. Nothing like a lady that's willing to swing a hammer. Get in there, get it done. All right, so Lisa Marie likes that idea. Yes, tax lien properties episode will be great. Okay, all right. Yep. Again, all the states don't offer them. Some do. All the auctions are not the same. All right, so make sure you do all your research. All right, so Mid-Atlantic says, I've been doing research on tax lien properties in Maryland, so trying to get as much knowledge as possible. Absolutely. All right, so I will make it my personal mission to find somebody good and reputable to talk about tax liens. So I definitely will give you all an update on that. All right, so I've been rocking for about an hour, y'all. All right, so quick check-in. I'm Kamari Ellis. This is the Finance Rebel Show. Wealthy Wednesdays is our Wednesday edition of the Finance Rebel Show. All right, every week we do this. This is my attempt to help elevate people's financial education so they can live a better life, a more fulfilling life, a more powerful life, a more impactful life. Money impacts everything, y'all. So keep that in mind that, if you have poor credit scores, it might affect you getting that good job you want. If you have poor credit scores, it might increase your insurance. And I'm not the super duper credit guy. I actually think it's overhyped most times, but it does make a difference. It's all this wealth game is like a cake. There's different components. There's different ingredients. There's different ingredients to it. You need a cake. You need some eggs. You need some flour. You need some sugar. You might need some other ingredients, but you need it all. And if you have too much of one thing, it's going to be hard to really get that cake to taste right. Don't matter how much icing you put on it. Big Paul 96, welcome. You found that. Hey, Janae, how you doing? Did you get that project done, Janae? Sorry, what's Lisa got? So Lisa says, if I want to get into real estate flips, liens, or wholesales, would it hurt my credit? So would it hurt to get my LLC now so I have it, set up my biz, credit, etc.? So everybody is going apeshit crazy about LLCs. You don't need an LLC for anything. You can buy a piece of property in your name. You can start a business in your name as a sole proprietor. Does it make sense to use an LLC? Sometimes. It depends on your situation. It'll make your tax bill go up, though, just to let y'all know that. In some states where you set up an LLC, if you make no profit, you might have to wind up paying a large amount of money, even if you make no money. For example, every year in California, if you have an LLC, you got to pay them $800, regardless. If you made $1 or $8 million, you got to pay them $800. In New York, I think it's $500. In Massachusetts, it's either $500 or $800. In Maryland, it's $300. So anybody on here in Maryland, think about that. So you got to factor all that in. And no, listen, y'all, money, finance, wealth, get rich quick, financial freedom, whatever you want to call it, there is no cookie cutter approach. There is no standard template, right? There are no custom off the rack suits where you can just put it on and wear it and it's going to rock for you perfectly. We talking custom made. It all depends. Like children, any of y'all parents, if y'all notice, all y'all children are different, especially if you got more than one, right? If you got more than one child, they're all going to be different. They are not going to be the same. Sometimes they don't have the same diet. You got to give them something different. They don't wear the same sizes, so you got to get them different clothes. Now, sometimes the older child is able to pass along some clothes to the younger child for a little while. Sometimes you get kids that grow up faster than the older child, and then you pass clothes backwards from the youngest to the oldest. It just depends, right? But it's custom made. So again, sometimes LLCs are cool, and sometimes they're not. LLCs really are for the most part, liability protection. They are risk management tools for the most part. For the most part, there is not much difference in taxation from me, let's say me, Kamari Ellis, as a sole proprietor, than it would be for me, Kamari Ellis, with the LLC. It's not much difference. But all these folks on socials try to pop their collar and act like they are Dr. LLC and that they know it all. Look out for them. Look out for the people that are saying, write your kids off on your taxes if you have a business. Look out for the people that's telling you to get corporations, because again, all of these things should be weighted under a serious consideration, right? You should have some consideration when you're doing this, not just to do things to get a tax write-off. That's all I got on that one, y'all. My pleasure, Lisa. My pleasure. My pleasure. All right, so it is now, we've been at this for about an hour and 15 minutes. Any questions anybody else has? I'm about to get off. Y'all know I need my vittles. I got to get me some foods. I got to get me. My mother would cringe and probably smack me for that bad English. But y'all know what I mean. I'm hungry. So I'm about to get off here and let you all good people get on to y'all wonderful nights. But any last thing? So, all right, tell me this, y'all, as we close up. What other shows would y'all like me to do? What other topics would you like me to cover on these shows? You got any suggestions? I saw tax liens. Anybody else have anything? We are coming up on our 100th podcast, right? We're almost at our 100th podcast, so I would like to do something special to commemorate me hitting 100 podcasts. So y'all let me know. By the way, have y'all been over to the podcast? Have y'all listened to the podcast? Perk Baby, how are you? Have y'all listened to the podcast? Okay, Jose, that is totally fine. Shoot me that inbox. All right, have a good night, Lisa. Thanks for coming around. I will be back next Saturday or this Saturday at noon. All right, but any ideas, any suggestions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. What would y'all like for me to cover next? I just got an alert talking about the last president, the orange-head orangutan. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. Not a fan at all. But glad he's gone. Glad it's a new day. Cannabis taxation. Oh, Kim, you're a heavy hitter. That's an interesting one. I definitely got a couple people that I can talk to that about. All right, so if y'all have not listened, tuned in, downloaded the Finance Rebel show, shame on you all. Y'all not rocking with me. Y'all ain't my friends. Do me a favor, y'all, just Google the Finance Rebel show. Going over to Apple, going over to iTunes or the podcast store, whatever they have. Going over to Google Podcasts, going over to Podcast Addicts, Spotify, Stitcher, and listen to the show. Make sure you rate, make sure you comment, make sure you share it. All right. All right. So Winifred said, ways to save on automobiles and maintenance costs. I got to try to find a dope mechanic for that one, but that would be interesting. I like to do a show on tax strategies, including shifting income to your kids. I just told you we ain't talking about no kids in your business. But actually, you know what, Jose? To be honest, I actually did do an episode on that. I did do an episode on that. It's on the podcast. I did it already. Come on, man. Y'all not treating me right. Y'all ain't treating me right. I'm not feeling loved. I think I might go cry somewhere. But you know what? All right. So let me do this, Jose. Let me find what episode it is. Real quick. Give me 1 second. 1 second. What episode was that? I did that a long time ago too, because everybody was going crazy about hiring their kids. And like most of the times the intent they want to go under, their intent for hiring their kids is to kind of scam the system. Their kids aren't necessarily working in the business. They're not necessarily paying their children a market rate salary. They just want to kind of hire them to get over. So let's see here. It's one of the earlier ones too. Let's see. Give me 1 second, y'all. By the way, while we're waiting, while I'm doing my research, let me know again what other topics would y'all like me to tackle on the show as we wrap up. Episode 10. It was kind of a combination episode. So episode 10, child employee tax write-off and TurboTax trap. A lot of people do get caught in the TurboTax trap. I know a lot of y'all love TurboTax. Be careful when using it. I ain't mad at you. I get it, but just be careful when using it and go through it twice. Now, Mid-Atlantic says tax liens, estate planning. Okay. Estate planning and budgeting. Now, Mid-Atlantic is funny. I said I was going to start doing some episodes on budgeting because many of y'all don't realize that budgeting is the cheat code. Controlling where your money goes is the cheat code to getting wealthy. It's not just finding the best investment or the hot stock tip or getting that great real estate flip or getting that Bitcoin. It's really directing where your money's going. Like if you're spending all your money making other people rich, you're never really going to get any benefit from it. If y'all remember, part of the reason why I started to talk a lot heavy on dollar stocks and fractional stocks is because I wanted to see y'all replace y'all consumeristic habits with some wealth building habits. Wealth building habit is investments. A consumeristic habit is just going to say Starbucks and spending your money away, buying those $5 lattes. And by the way, no latte shame over here. I buy lattes sometimes. Sometimes, I might be talking to myself with some of these. But I don't really have any other vices. I will go out and eat, but I'm not a sneakerhead. I don't buy toys and gadgets unless it's business related. I'm not really into jewelry. I'm not into watches. So that's my one guilty pleasure. That's the one time I get to be human. So, all right. So Mid-Atlantic says how to select the right credit card. What makes good or bad credit card? Okay. That's an interesting one. I normally stay away from like the consumeristic stuff because I feel like there's just so much of it out there, but we'll take a dabble at it. Let me write that down. So Mid-Atlantic said budgeting, choose the right credit card, and estate planning. We talked about tax liens, but yeah, I'll definitely get somebody with tax liens. All right. Anybody got anything else? All right, Angela, you're the only one that's listening. You're like my only friend here. I appreciate you. Nobody else has listened. They don't like me, Angela. What should I do about this? All right, Ladina at 5-Star Tax Solutions says catch up investment strategies for older adults. Yeah, invest more, save more. Stop spending money on dumb stuff. Excuse me. All right, but yeah, I'll do that one as well. All right, folks, I'm going to bid you all adieu. Everybody have a great night. I am humbled and honored that you were all able to make it here for this week of Wealthy Wednesdays. Again, if anybody has any questions or suggestions, feel free to shoot me a text at 215-974-0058. Again, 215-974-0058. If you give me your questions in advance, I'll line them up and we can tackle them for next Wealthy Wednesdays. All right, everybody, have a great night. Appreciate you all. See you on Saturday at noon for Wealthy Conversations. So long. Bye-bye.